welcome back to the channel. It's time for my review of AEW Revolution. Now, if you want a longer breakdown of this, you can head over to the Going In Raw recap. I did it with Larson last night. It's like an hour long. We get into the details, the nitty gritty about Revolution, but I'm here to give you my WrestleJuice solo shorter review. I'm just going to go match by match here, starting from the kickoff show. Overall, let's start off with here. Overall, I thought it was an absolutely terrific pay-per-view. I think sort of top to bottom, there really wasn't a stinker on the list. There was one match that kind of under-delivered, and I kind of wonder if it had more to do with match placement or just the precedent that has been established in the past between the two competitors. I'll get to that in a little bit. First up, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button as well. Helps grow WrestleJuice. She's here today, so it should be a good video. Let's get it started. Generally, overall, I thought the pay-per-view was actually pretty stellar. I thought in this day and age, you don't get AEW's kind of the last company besides maybe New Japan to do really long shows. Like obviously WrestleMania has been broken up into two, like probably 4-hour shows. WWE generally these days puts on like 3-hour shows, which I personally kind of prefer because you just get all that stuff packed into a relatively short time span. AEW, because they're still at 4 pay-per-views a year, they do the longer shows. I actually thought the show kind of breezed by, if that's even a word. I didn't really feel like it was as long as it was because it was so packed full of really great action. There were 2 really long matches on the card, CM Punk versus MJF, and of course the main event. Those went to around 25 minutes if Wikipedia is to be believed, and who am I to question Wikipedia? So we'll just go ahead and go through this because, yeah, I thought it was a pretty stellar card. In the kickoff show, we had Layla Hirsch beating Chris Statlander by whacking her on the head with like a turnbuckle or a wrench or something. And I thought this was really cool. I thought Layla Hirsch, I think it's a really good idea to sort of build her up as, you know, one of the top heels in the mid-card women's division there in AEW, because both their champions right now, Britt and Jade, they can kind of be good guy or bad guy. They can sort of be either one. So you want to build up a really, really strong heel to try to take one of them. Layla Hirsch already had a pretty good match against Jade Cargill, probably during the TBS tournament or something. I don't know what it was, but they had a really good match. So maybe they can revisit that, or Layla can go and challenge Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa if she ends up winning in 2 weeks, or in a week actually, on Dynamite. But yeah, I thought it was a really good match. And then of course you have the heel finish with Layla Hirsch. I thought that was good stuff. Next up, this was like the easiest outcome of the night here. Hook beat QT Marshall, made him tap out to the Red Rum, to the Taz mission. I love me some Hook. I think he's pretty great. I'm kind of curious if they're going to ship him over to Ring of Honor, if Ring of Honor is going to be their developmental, if Hook's going to be one of the guys to go over there. That might not be a terrible idea. On the other hand, keeping him in AEW to sort of learn more under his dad and all the great veterans there, maybe they'll do that. I'm not sure. Or maybe he'll start up his own team Taz. He'll start up a team Hook over in Ring of Honor. That's not a terrible idea. That's kind of a cool idea. Also, the last match in the kickoff, in the buy-in, if you will, House of Black beat Death Triangle, which was a fun match. You got a lot of cool hoss spots between Eric Redbeard, of course, who's now part of Death Triangle or Death Rectangle or Rhombus or Parallelogram, whatever it is. You got them, him and Brody King mixing it up, a couple of big hosses. Death Triangle put up a good fight, but apparently it seems like Eric Redbeard was sort of brought in to take that pin because that's what he did. Next up, we had Eddie Kingston beating Chris Jericho. This surprised me. I thought that, like, for Eddie Kingston's first big win, this didn't have much of a build beyond that promo. And then Jericho delivered like sort of a WWE style promo. And then Eddie Kingston talked about pie. I was kind of surprised by this match. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. I love Eddie Kingston. I think he's awesome. And I think this is meant to fuel Chris Jericho's heel turn a little bit more. And yeah, I thought it was great for Eddie Kingston to get that big win over Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, to his credit, will put over a lot of people that he seems to find, some value in with the company in terms of the future of the company. So I thought this was really good for Eddie Kingston. And I think that Chris Jericho is probably going to continue feuding, I would assume, with Santana Ortiz, It's been like 3 years. I still call him LAX. I need to stop doing that. Next up, we had Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon, O'Reilly and Fish, and versus the Young Bucks. And this is a lot of fun, a lot of storytelling here. It sort of played out as we figured it would. A relationship between the Young Bucks and Red Dragon to keep Jurassic Express out of it. Ended up biting their asses in the end because they ended up just sort of fighting over that whole thing. And they took themselves out of it to allow Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy to get their awesome finishing move, which was, I love that finishing move so much, off on like one of the Young Bucks, I think, to get that win there. It was a really fun match. They're really building up sort of Jungle Boy as being a guy who can take a lot of punishment and not eat a pin, but they really need to work kind of on his personality, I feel. I know people love him anyways, but maybe get him some more time on the mic. Get him away from Christian. Christian needs to turn heel on these guys. After that, we had Wardlow winning the Face of the Revolution ladder match. This was a ton of fun. Lots of clever spots here. I loved all the Orange Cassidy stuff, trying to mix it up with the big guys, and that bit where they did the ladder and he sort of climbed on top of it to try to get the thing, and then he tried to climb on top of like the mountain of men. I thought the whole thing was a ton of fun, and last night I thought was a huge step towards making Wardlow into a legit star. I'm telling you, when I see this guy get Batista vibes, I feel like MJF should probably be the guy to take that title off of Hangman Page, and Wardlow should be the guy to take the title off of MJF. You spend the next year or so building Wardlow up even more. People love this guy because clearly he's going to be feuding with, you would think, MJF next. I'm kind of really dying to find out what happens on Dynamite between Wardlow and MJF. Wardlow just completely swerved MJF with that diamond ring later on in the CM Punk match. But in this match, it was great. He took out the two big men up at the top of the ramp, comes back down, power bombs Christian, power bombs Ricky Starks, and he climbs up that ladder and he gets the big Sonic ring. And the crowd goes nuts for Wardlow. Man, they love him. I love Wardlow. Everybody seems to love Wardlow. So good on him for the two star-making performances last night. That was disgusting. I just spat on my mic. Next up, we had Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti. This was kind of the other, besides Hook versus QT Marshall, this is sort of the other foregone conclusion of the night. It was just sort of a matter of how much of a fight is Ty Conti going to put up. And it, you know, even Anna Jay hitting Jade Cargill. Again, in this case, Jade Cargill playing the face role. She could do either one against Ty Conti. Anna Jay whacking her in the head with the chair. That wasn't enough to do it. Jade Cargill ended up picking up the win. There's a great moment here where at the very beginning, Jade just, I guess to throw Ty off her game, I gave her a big old smooch on the lips. And then Ty gave her one later on in the match. The hell of a way to play mind games, people. I'm not going to complain about that. So yeah, Jade Cargill got the win. What a huge star. What a massive star. I love that they're emphasizing her record. What do you guys think Jade Cargill's ultimate record is going to be? When is she going to get to that -1? What is that number going to be? What is her streak going to be? Are they going to go for the Goldberg thing? Is that what they're going to do? 173-0? Is that what they're going to do? Let me know in the comments below. Jade Cargill, her Jade outfit from Mortal Kombat was absolutely amazing. There was one, I'll pause real quick here. There was one thing that sort of really stood out on this pay-per-view, and it was just how, okay, that's cool. Well, there she goes. And it was just sort of how, I shouldn't say this, out of touch JR seems to be on commentary. Because, man, this dude will be making references. He made a reference on Dynamite to the movie Sybil from 1976. And I'm sure some of you who are watching this probably know what that movie is. I've never actually seen it, but I sort of knew of it. And he made a reference to Sybil, which is a movie that's like 40 years old. I don't know about JR, man. I love the guy. I think he's terrific. I really do. You know? Anyways, after that, we had probably actual match of the night. CM Punk versus, well, this is like my second favorite match of the night. CM Punk versus MJF, the dog collar match. Of course, CM Punk coming out to his old AFI Ring of Honor theme. I don't know dick about AFI, so I didn't know this song. I just knew everybody said, oh, that's what he used to come out to in Ring of Honor. So I was like, okay, cool. And then he had the basketball shorts, which of course I had seen before with CM Punk, and he had like the track jacket. So it was really cool to see him throw back, because this whole feud has been about throwback stuff. I thought it was pretty awesome. The dog collar aspect, the thumbtacks, all the bleeding, just a violent match. And then in the end, MJF calling for that stupid diamond ring again. Wardlow comes down. Can't find it, boss. And then CM Punk gives him a GTS, and then Wardlow's, oh, wait, I do have it here. And he puts it down for Phil. And then CM Punk gives him the old middle finger. MJF spits in his face, and then he lays him out with that ring. I thought that was a killer finish. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I was really into it. So, yeah, that to me, probably actual match of the night, although there was one that I had a bit more fun with a little bit later on. Next up, we had Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. Now, this was kind of interesting. I like the build to this feud hasn't been like the best. They had like the contract signing where Britt kind of dominated the mic. They've had some tag team stuff. They've had the Mercedes Martinez stuff. So it's been all right. It's been okay. The match itself, I think because it came after that dog collar match, like you could tell the crowd was visibly just exhausted from the emotion of that match. That being said, they announced, so Britt won this match again from, her crew sort of helping out, just distraction after distraction after distraction. That gets old. That starts to get stale. This week on Dynamite, Thunder Rosa has a number one contender match against Layla Hirsch that she will no doubt win, because it was announced that the following week she'll get, or whoever wins that, Thunder Rosa, will get a title shot against Britt Baker in San Antonio, Thunder Rosa's hometown. They got a brand new championship title, like a new physical title. She's totally going to win it in San Antonio. That's absolutely going to happen. They'll probably do it in a steel cage, is my guess, which makes this match kind of a formality. And although it was a good match, I can't stand when they have heels do the exact same thing every single time to get the wins. I thought Britt was pretty compelling for a while. Lately, she's been using that kind of stuff way too much. It's sort of like MJF in that diamond ring, which is why I'm glad I think they're done with the diamond ring now after the Wardlow stuff. So that's how I feel about the whole Britt Baker Thunder Rosa thing. I thought that, hey, they put on a really good match. The crowd wasn't huge into it, although they were still chanting during the match, largely because they had just been through a roller coaster ride with that MJF Punk stuff. Next up, we've got Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. This was physical. It was awesome. We got to see Moxley do a bunch of Danielson stomps, which was fun. And in the end, Jon Moxley's able to get kind of a desperation roll through pin on Bryan Danielson, who gets pissed off at the ref. Down comes William Regal. Holy shit. The crowd exploded. I exploded. Everybody who was watching with us on the stream over at Twitch was exploded. This was great. Regal making Mox and Danielson shake hands and then forming that faction together. Let's hope and pray, everybody, right now. Let's manifest this. Samoa Joe joins that faction. Holy shit. How amazing is this going to be that Regal is an AEW? And apparently, according to, I think, Fightful Select or somebody, he's going to be behind the scenes working and he's going to be on camera. I am so the possibilities here. Of course, the obvious one, him running into the Undisputed Era backstage. I mean, come on. This is going to be absolutely outstanding. Regal is an AEW. I'm super happy about that because I'm a huge Regal fan. Also, earlier in the night, Swerve Scott signed his contract. I'm sorry, Swerve Strickland signed his contract. Tony Schiavone brought it out and he gave a little promo. Everybody said this is Swerve's house. I thought that was really good. Good for him. He's awesome. Next up, we had, I'll be honest with you, this was probably my most entertaining match of the night. I had no idea it was going to be like this. Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Sting versus the AHFO, Andrade, Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy, and that's it. And they had Jose the assistant out there too. This match was wildly fun. They were just going. This match was only 13 minutes long. They went from before the bell, they were just getting all their shit in. There was a great little Darby Allin video package beforehand where like an SUV jumps into like a bus or something like that, and Sting has a flamethrower. And then Sting, in the moment of the night, leapt off. He did a splash from on top of like the little overhang thing to like an entrance onto a bunch of stacked up tables where Andrade was laying. And it was insane to see a 62-year-old man put himself through that. That was absolutely nuts. Nuts, I tell you. It was so much fun. This match was so great. Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting ended up getting the win here. It was terrific. Really fun match. 13 minutes of just nothing but action. Just absolutely insane shit going on. It was great. And then we had our main event. The Adams fought Adam Page, Adam Cole. This was a really terrific match. They had a little bit of overbooking in here with Red Dragon coming down, the Dark Order running them off. And so we got like a clean finish between the two of them. I thought this was a really, really terrific match. Curious to see where Hangman goes next. I mean, it seems like they're just putting him through the ringer. They're going to give him as many top names as they possibly can. Kind of surprised they went Adam Cole this early, but I think they wanted to get Adam Cole out of the way because I think eventually he's going to come back around to the world title. I don't know, maybe after Wardlow has it. I have to update my next four the AEW World Champions list because I don't think it's going to go down the way it was going to go down. So anyways, yeah, no, I thought it was a terrific match. Hangman Page picks up the win with not one but two buckshot lariats. Adam Cole tried to get the boom in, but he kept on. He got one in, but his knee pad was on. And then he went for the second one, and Adam Page just kept on ducking and diving. And so, yeah, Hangman Page picked up the win. Really fun match, really cool match. Crowd seemed a little bit spent, but they were into it by the end. And, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think AEW is going to keep on doing these longer shows for pay-per-view, which is fine. There's only 4 of them a year. This one, like I said, if it's well booked, if the matches are all good, it just breezes on by. So that's cool. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Hey, let me know what your match of the night was. Let me know what your moment of the night was. That'd be awesome. Like I said, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Thanks everybody for hanging on. I appreciate it. Check out one of these other videos here. She got up there. She's down there now. You see her? Jeb. Mama, look. Bug. What's this? Nothing. Bye, everybody.